Okay, so um yeah. So for some reason I can't live stream this right now. I tried to do it earlier on YouTube or whatever. It's been acting funny, and I could have went and did it on Twitch like I did the previous time, but I just wanted to go ahead and just make it where it's I could save it or whatever. So basically, it's one of my characters. The Afro kunoichi. I just wanted to just redraw her because the original drawing I did of her, certain things about it that bothered me. It was a good picture overall. One of the things was let's see, this arm here. It was kind of weird looking. Hold on. So this picture here, originally it was kind of weird looking. It looked like more. Okay, so when I first did it, I actually painted in the colors. I mean, I painted in everything. I didn't draw. I mean, I didn't, do line art or anything like that. I just painted in everything. So we had the arm looking something like, I think I had it like this. Like that. Or something. Which is similar, but the hand is just in like this little cone shape. And then I have like the fire like that. And it just looked very lifeless, I guess. Yeah, so just oh, also I'm doing this on the on my cell phone using the Autodesk sketchbook mobile app. It's a really cool app. It's free. Tons of brushes and everything else to choose from. It's pretty good. Amazing program. I love it. It's how I do majority of my digital stuff. But yeah, so yeah, it just didn't look right. Even with this hand, it didn't look all that great either. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna do right now. Just go ahead and just throw in some base color that I'm gonna use. Use this other color here. I liked it, and yeah. And so anyway, I wanted to go ahead and do this because I just want like I said, the original drawing I did of it, it's actually pretty good. It's just that I just wanted to revisit it. So as I'm starting to really work on the story for this character, and so like what better way to get some more inspiration, some better ideas for it is just come back and retouch on her design a little bit. So we did change a few things, minor changes, not a whole lot, but I want it to be like really what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. I just want it to really stick out because okay, so her hair, for instance, these two big puffball afros, they wasn't really all that big. They were much smaller than that. Much smaller than what it is. Just wanted it to look really, I don't know, unique in a way. It's I don't know, some of the things. Scarf. I am gonna redo this. But anyway, this is just the process I go through whenever I am going to paint something, especially if I'm not painting straight in. A lot of times I have a tendency to just paint straight in, not even worry, not even mess around with coming up with a line work or anything like that. I just go ahead and just paint straight in, whatever. It may take a little longer doing it that way, but it has a more free flowing type feel to it. Um, of course, I use different techniques than I would have normally use. This here actually, then again, I think just painting straight in might actually be quicker than doing it this way, because this way I actually have to I go through a certain amount of steps just to get to this point. As of right here, I'm not really worried about painting in the lines, because I can easily come back and touch it up. That's the beauty of digital, is that you can always come back and erase things out that are not quite working without ruining the picture. I mean, that's one of the things that I do like about it. I when I so I've been doing art for a while, and I originally started out traditionally, and what I did was, like, when I was a kid, I always kind of did. I don't know. I mean, I guess when I started out, I think the first thing that I can remember that I drew was the Ninja Turtles. You know, I used to watch the Ninja Turtles, and that was like the first thing I drew. My grandmother, her favorite thing was Ninja Turtles. So I remember I used to sit and draw Ninja Turtles all the time, and she had like probably the hugest collection of Ninja Turtles that I've ever seen. And the thing is, she was in love with the Ninja Turtles. She'd go and she'd buy every new Ninja Turtle toy and everything like that, of course. And not for me, of course. It was just for herself, She'd leave them on her shelf, and she has like this big collection of unopened Ninja Turtle toys and everything like that. And she just, that's what she did. She collected Ninja Turtle toys, and I thought that was so cool, you know. And unfortunately, when she had passed, I have no clue who got the collection, but and to this day, I still don't know who got the collection, but she's a very cool lady. Remember going there for summers and everything like that, and I remember she used to. I mean, although she did go and get these things for herself, she also got Ninja Turtle stuff for us as well. I remember. I remember one Christmas, like, she had got me so many Ninja Turtle things. It was unreal. I mean, talking about a Ninja Turtle bedspread, Ninja Turtles pillows, plush teddy bear type things. It was Ninja Turtle everywhere. And my favorite Ninja Turtle was Leonardo for a while. Only because he, had the blue headband. My favorite color was blue. Later on, I grew to really like Raphael. And he was like one of my favorites because of his personality, and, he's, a tough guy. And I liked him. Kind of a lone wolf also, just kind of fit in with me as much because, I was very much a loner growing up. I mean, I had friends, especially whenever I started playing sports, because I think that's the only reason I really had friends, because of sports. Because I was kind of awkward, awkward individual. I didn't talk much. Actually, I was pretty shy. But anyway, back to this. I don't know what I'm going with that. But anyway, back to this, man. Okay, so once we draw in like the base, just the base or whatever, I come back later and individually do the base for color for each thing that I'm gonna do. So I mean, I guess I'll wait till we get to that point, because we still gotta fix up rather marking each one of these things. Um, some of the inspirations for this character, by the way, is actually one of my favorite games that I used to play not growing up, but I used to play was Soul Calibur. And so I always liked it. I've always liked it. Taki and Tylum. Those are like my two favorite characters. Um, oh, and I liked it Mitsurugi as well, but Taki might have been my favorite. It's just that her whole ninja thing, and then she had her two twin swords or whatever, which is pretty cool. That's kind of where I get the idea for the whole twin sword thing. Well, I only got one sword. She only has one sword instead of for twin swords, or whatever. But I kind of wanted to go on. I don't know. It's has some elements of Taki from Soul Calibur in there. And I don't know if she has a well, you'll see it whenever I finish with the backstory. I originally, the colors that I had picked out were so very similar to Taki's red, her red uniform, but decided, you know what, can't do that. It's too similar. Let's just change it up. This right here is not bad because you see that this part right here, I was going to erase this, but it looks like it actually belongs there, so I'm going to just leave that part there, because that looks like it belongs here. Now that I look at it, because I guess I did not draw in her other foot all the way. It looked like it belongs, sort of. Yeah, I'm going to leave it. But yeah, so, like, whenever... Now, I know that they say, like, whenever you're coming up with a new idea, or whatever, a story, you want to make a story, or whatever, you come up with a story first, and then you come up with the design for the character. This was a little bit different. I actually came up with this character one day because I was, I think I was trying to do, just trying to do a warm-up drawing one day, and I came up with this character, and I was like, whoa, this character's pretty cool. It's saying something, right? I was like, oh man, this character is pretty cool. Like, I should keep it, I should build more on this character's backstory and everything like that, and make a story completely around this character. And so that's kind of what I did, which is much harder to make a story around a character. That rather is best to come up with a story first, then you can actually build. You can begin working on how the character looks based upon the story, the character's background, and everything like that. You can determine exactly what they're wearing, and why they're wearing it, what every stuff like that. But of course, I had to do things backwards. Yeah, this part is actually kind of tedious. It's actually easier to do this part on probably on like in Photoshop or whatever. But of course, I really don't. Not to say that I can't do it that way, but with the whole where we just keep everything contained in one area like that, making like a mask or whatever. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I'll have to figure out how to do it in this program. But as of right now, I don't know how to, but we just do it this way. Okay, so it looks good for the most part. Probably touch up a little bit here at the hair or whatever. Okay, not really too worried about all that. But it's good to tackle it now because later on it will become an issue trying to go back. But that's the beauty of working in layers, you know? So next thing we're gonna do is open up a new layer, which we already have here. Yeah, so there's the silhouette or whatever. It looks okay. Really don't have no clue what it is just by looking at it, but it's okay. So we're gonna go with color, skin tone. What is up with this? Why does it keep bringing me to that? I like the color wheel better, not, you know. See, I never. This is like a custom palette. How do you add colors to the palette? Or change the palette? Or can you change it? Hold on. Let's see. Let's go with this color. Alright, I'm liking the way that looks. Yeah, I'm liking the way it looks. So is there a way to save that to the palette? Or do we go like, oh, okay, cool. Wait, can I put it here? Swap it out for one of these colors here? Oh, that's cool. Okay, so you can't make custom palettes. Nice. Wow. See? Didn't even know I could do that. But now that I do know, this should be much funner. Okay, so because I was going to say, you know, it's one of the downsides. Well, not say downsides. That's one of the things that, you know, I'm like, it's cool program. Don't really have color palettes though, but you can. But yeah, like I said, it's a pretty cool program. I love it. I really do. There's so many different brushes you can use. I don't know if I've showed that, but yeah, there are tons of brushes and things to choose from. There's different things, different selections you can use. Transformations. Crap, let's go out of that. Fills, different types of fills. You got your gradient fills, you got your regular solid fills, different drawing patterns and stuff. I mean, there's other ones over there. Predictive strokes is actually pretty good. Helps you keep the, you know, anticipate your line movements a little bit, make them more controlled lines, you know, if you want to. You got text, you can import images, you can actually do a time-lapse video pretty much, which is pretty cool. Guidelines, you got symmetry. I mean, there's so much stuff that's in this. It's pretty cool. I mean, I'm surprised that, you know, you get all these things in a drawing app. I've tried different drawing apps that they've had for phones and stuff, you know, and tablets, you know, just not drawing tablets, because, you know, like there's like really good dedicated apps for those. But yeah, I've tried the different ones. I've tried the Adobe Sketch. I'm not a big fan of it. You know, it's just a little too, I don't know, I guess simple. They have a limited range of what you can use. Very limited. Okay, so the way that I had this from the original design, and I don't know if I'm gonna still do it this way. I might, but the original design, I actually had it with she had what is it called? The little hole, the fishnet. So she had like the fishnet thing going on, like the fishnet stockings and the fishnet top or whatever, and even on the arm, it was, you know, that old tradition, that old classic, you know, ninja thing going on. I remember when I was younger, one of the, like the whole thing with the fishnet thing. I remember one of the first ninja movies I've seen was what was it? Ninja in the Dragon's Den, and it was awesome. Like I remember the guy that he was going against, he was, you know, this master ninja, and he was, you know, it was crazy because then he jumped out of this, like he think he got the guy and he stabbed him and he jumped out and it was just his clothes sitting there. And then it showed him later and he had like the whole, you know, fishnet top on or whatever. And then he had this other black ninja garb with the net with the fishnet thing. I'm like, yo, man, this guy is awesome. And he was using the whole, you know, smoke bombs tactics, and I mean, he was just using a lot of different things. That and what was it? Yeah, that, I guess that plays a part in some of my designs as well. What's the other movie? Shogun's Ninja. Yeah, love that one. And I remember my stepdad got me onto this movie a long time ago, and before then I didn't know about it. It was what was it Shogun Assassin, also known as Lone Wolf and Cub. Man, I was like, yo, this is incredible, like incredible. My thing was, how come I didn't know about this beforehand? And then again, you know, sometimes you're caught into your own little thing. I mean, but that was those are pretty good. Also, my uncle, who just recently passed, he was the one who got me into Ninja Scroll. Before then, I didn't know nothing of it. He had this old VHS tape, and he was like, "Yeah, you should watch this." You know, he was like, you know, he was like, "I like your artwork, you know, I like what you're doing." Because at the time, I was really heavy into Dragon Ball Z. Like that's the only thing I did was draw Dragon Ball Z like all day long. Like all my stuff was Dragon Ball Z. Um, and so he was like, you know, take a look at this. And so I looked at it. I'm like, what? My eyes was open. I was like, man, Ninja Scroll is amazing. Jubei, you know. Um, it was awesome. So I think what I'm gonna do, by the way, is change up maybe the tone of these things much later. But yeah, so this part is just pretty much coloring in certain parts, different colors. Her suit is purple. Because I was going back and forth because originally I had it like where it was red, but I was like, you know, why not go purple or navy blue? And so I was like, yeah, we'll go purple. And her scarf, if I'm not mistaken, I think I settled on white. But I was also thinking about like a navy blue as well for the scarf, because I was thinking about the shoulder guards. I was definitely gonna do the shoulder guards navy blue, or dark blue rather. I don't know about navy blue. It's gonna be a dark blue, and I was gonna make the scarf like either a dark, blue, or maybe like a burgundyish reddish purple color. I don't know. But I think originally I settled on it just being like a striped white and blue color. And so like the original piece, you'll see it's like a striped white and blue color. And of course, for hair, I wanted it to be a little different as well. I didn't want to just go straight black for the hair. I wanted to give it like a brownish red tint to it. Similar to one of the other characters that I had, except for I made hers like a greenish black tint, which is pretty cool. Because I don't like going all the way black or all the way white for when I'm painting and stuff. And I don't know if I'm going to actually add in the fishnet or not. I mean, it would be nice too, but I don't know. Okay, so we open up a new layer. And we start to handle the colors. Yeah, let's go back here. Colors for, it's going to be like a darker purple, but not, it's still going to have some saturation to it. I think this is the color I chose. Yeah. We're on the right layer, right? Okay, yeah. Yeah, I can't even, like, I've done it where I've actually went and started doing something and realized, like, oh, man, I'm on the wrong layer. And in a way, you don't really have to worry about coloring the lines on this either, but it's okay if you went a little bit outside, but, you know, because you can always go back. Let's say I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'm gonna just color over where the belt is, right? Like that. And then when I open up a new layer and it's time for me to do the belt, and I'll just do it like white or whatever, and so it just goes right over top of that. So it's not really that big of an issue. That's just how I do it. It's always one layer above the layer I just did. That way, you know, everything works together, and so when it comes down time to merge everything, it just works perfectly, you know. But I still like to work within the lines. So this part, hold on. Let me go ahead and do this right here. So this part here, this is going to be like a darker, even darker purple. Yeah, it's gonna be a little different. Yeah. So this is gonna be a little. Let's see. It's gonna be a little bit more color. It takes a little bit more thinking about the colors and stuff, because I know it's colors I want to use, but I also know that this is going to be, a lot of it's going to be kind of dark. All right, so in my background, as of right now, there's nothing here, but I do have an idea for what I want for the background. In fact, we're going to go ahead and mess around with this a little bit more, make it a little bit darker. But yeah, So anyway, I like to I think what I'm gonna also do, so it's gonna be like a darker color, right? Darker purple, just but not nothing that's like dark. Well, I mean it's gonna be dark, but not black. You know, not black dark, because that's a little too dark. Can't really do nothing with that. Like, can't really show shadows if it's already pretty much, it's practically black, unless it's like a smoke black. And so okay, so now I'm starting to see that I did not add in the same line work over here that I did with the other hand, and it's okay. That's why, remember I said about you could just paint back over top of it in the next layer from doing white or whatever. So that's what we'll end up doing. And the good thing is, because of the layers, I'm not setting any of them to I'm not making any special layers just yet. So it'll just go right over top of it. And, you know, that's the good thing. And for the line art, for the line work or whatever, it's on its own separate layer. And it's above these other layers. So we're not worried about it. Eventually, okay, so after, well, you know what? I'll just talk about it when I get there. But it's gonna look pretty good whenever well, it's gonna look the way I kind of want it to look. You know. And so the one thing that I'm hoping is that it does end up looking better than the one I did before. If not, then, you know, it's okay. It means I have to just work harder at these things. Okay, so let me go ahead and save this color as one of the swatches. So, yeah, let's go right here. Yeah. So there's gonna be like you know what? I might go for dark color for that. Then again, if I do that, yeah, we'll do that, and we'll do these little ankle ornaments as her little ankle ornaments as just the same color purple. Oh boy. Now that was weird. My computer just shut off. That's weird. That means my music stopped. And I like to listen to music when I do these things. Give me a half second as I log back into it. Wonder what's happened. It's on the charger. Has full battery. That's just weird, man. Anyway, let's just not even question things anymore. But yeah. So since we left this area right here like that, we're gonna go ahead and add this color in over there as well. Probably like that, I guess. Yeah, that looks good. Yeah, and we'll go with the same color for this here. And I was always a fan of those who use kunais. And you said even from earlier movies where you've seen somebody who threw kunais, just like Shogun's Ninjas, where you had the girl running around throwing kunais. Alright, so let's go to the next layer. It's going to be quite a few layers. Just go ahead and put that out there. So kind of go right there with this color. Yeah, it's not gonna really matter about I know it's dark where you can't see the line art, but it doesn't matter. The interesting point that's gonna come up after the fact is because we're gonna actually paint over the lines. And I remember for a long time I did not know how to do this correctly, or I'm not gonna say correctly, like I didn't know how to do it to where it looked nice. A lot of times it looked at like edges had the edges looking blurred, because that's the only thing I would do is just try to blur the paint over top of the lines, because I didn't really know how to do what I was doing. In fact, if you see some of my earlier stuff, because I do not delete my earlier things, pictures. I keep them on whatever social media I'm on. I keep them. I don't really delete them, with the exception of some that if I really truly am not liking it, like it's like really bad. But for the most part, I keep them. I don't like deleting my pictures. I think I like to leave them as like a journal of where I've come from, how far I've come, or something. Not to just say, oh well, forget that, man. That thing looks bad. Nobody's seeing this, and let me just use this color for the shoulder pads as well. Yeah, I could just use this for the same color for the shoulder pads. So we go with this. Yeah, so whatever color I'm gonna use for the scarf, I was thinking about something dark like this, but who knows, man. I might actually do something where that color is actually pretty bright or something, since these are all kind of dark colors anyway. Might just leave it being white or something, or who knows. I mean, I did up. Yeah, okay. So yeah, I think what's gonna happen is you're definitely gonna have to do these in parts, because this is gonna take a very long time. And um, number one, nobody wants to sit and watch this a long process, like, this long process. Then again, some people might, but it's gonna be an extremely long video. Like, I already know how long this is going to take. Well, I don't know exactly, but I know ballpark of how long it's going to take. Especially in consideration to like my previous ones that I've done, it's more than likely going to take me around about the same amount of time. Now that I think about it, I'm going to end up doing this part different color, darker. But for one of the things that I can say is this, that is ballpark wise, this picture will take me somewhere around, to be completely finished, I'll say somewhere around in total, it's probably going to take me around about 16-17 hours. I mean, and the truth of the matter is I've already spent quite some time on it already, maybe like 4 hours. Before we even got to this point, because I've done I did end up doing a little bit of a little bit of drawing already for this. I had to come up, pretty much copy look at the picture, the previous picture, and come up with a sketch, and then come after having that rough sketch, come back and try to fix the anatomy. And then after that, went from fixing that anatomy to coming up with this particular finished semi okay line work. Because it's still very sketchy. It's not actually, wow, it's not as good as the line work that I normally do, or that I've done in my previous few that I've done, where the line work was really good. And also, the stylus of mine is starting to, like, literally, like, I use this way too much. I did this way too much. My stylus is starting to actually tear up a bit. So I have to go out and get a new one, new nib for it. And the only reason okay, so I don't use any fancy stylus or whatever. I use one of these like cheap ones out of like Family Dollars or Dollar Tree. Very cheap, inexpensive. Very cheap, inexpensive. But the thing is, even though that's what I do, I actually go when I do go and try to buy at least like 6 at a time. I didn't do that this last time, of course, because I'm kind of an idiot. I think I'm gonna do this color like a silver on this. I don't know, I might add a little bit of gold in there, but I'm not certain yet. I'm thinking I might actually do some gold for the trim for a few things. But yeah. So let's see if I'll never change anything else up yet. Alright, let's just go ahead and save this in a swatch. Or not swatch, but whatever it's called, man. Okay, so save it for a palette. We're trying to build. Now that I know that that's there, I'm gonna build up a palette. Hair color. So let's go ahead and make a new layer before we, start end up doing it on the same exact layer. You can actually combine these two layers. At least not yet. Anyway, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we're gonna have like a bunch of layers. We're gonna end up having to merge down quite a, So, so what we're gonna do is come up with color for the hair, and I said I wanted like a reddish brown, a little desaturated. Let's see how that looks. Wait a minute. That's really brown. Let's add some red into there somehow. Let's see about that. I don't know. Let's go ahead and start off with this for the see how it looks. I'm kind of liking the color, but might end up just going with the green, that really dark green color. So let's see, the boomerang effect for this one would be not that dark. Let's see, what's the darkest we'll get? Yeah, see, that doesn't really work with me. Let's see. So let's get back to this. So we're here, boomerang effect would be, this will be the darkest it could go, really. Alright, I kind of like that. Let's boomerang it back that way. And we have the highlights in there. Yeah, alright, I can feel it. I can feel it. Let's go. That's the color we want. Let's go ahead and save this color. Oh, that's another thing. Yeah. So this also have Copics. Hold on. Let me go ahead and save this because I would hate to have to. Can I add it here? No. Alright, we're gonna put it next to this color. Okay, so check it. They have Copics. They have the Copics and stuff, different colors for the Copics. Also they have the design colors, so which is pretty cool. Yeah, so this is a pretty cool feature in and of itself. And so just say I wanted this Copic color here. I wanted to see if I can actually do this. I really don't like that color. Let's see about the purples. Like that color there. That's actually about this color. Fluorescent, dull violet. I don't even know how you have fluorescent and dull in the same sentence. But lilac. Like this is like my, well, let's see. Well, this is like my mother's favorite color, like lilac. So let's see if I could take that. Who knows? We might use this for like a highlight or something. Oh, cool! So we could save some certain Copic colors to the palette. That's nice. That's really nice. So let's pull from that color there. Let's go back to the color wheel. Let's finish putting in these. I think I could have left that. Finish putting in these the color. Let me go ahead and drop in these colors here. So the good thing is, I'm going to do this in sections. So I'm going to go ahead and do this part first. The blocking in of the you know, colors and stuff. So, because I don't know really what YouTube you know, what their rules and regulations is for videos and stuff. I don't think that these because I know that it's going to take quite some time to upload this and edit it. Oh man, the editing. At any rate, this will be, you know, we'll do these in parts. So I'll probably end up doing this, the base, all these base colors, you know, that we're marking in, and then afterwards we'll do the next part, then the next part, then the next part. And I guess it's probably a good thing that I do it this way. This way I'll get the appropriate rest that I need. A lot of times when I do pics in general, in these and paintings and stuff like that, I normally just go straight, you know, I'll go like probably anywhere between 5 to 6 hours straight before I take a break. And I mean, except for bathroom breaks, of course, I do those, but 5 to 6 hours straight. Sometimes I don't even eat. And I'm just sitting there drawing and drinking coffee and whatever else, and listening to music and doing this for hours at a time. And a lot of times I'm like, afterwards I'm like, dang man, I should take a break, man, because now, and the bad thing is, because it's like, dang, now when you do take a break, you're like, dang man, now I kind of want to work on it, but I've already burnt out the battery on my phone or whatever. And then I'm like, okay, well, let's do some traditional. Or I'm like, nah, you know, we're just gonna take it easy for the rest of the day. You know, let's get on the PlayStation 4. And so if we get on the PlayStation 4 and then we do that for a few hours, probably like, you know, a lot of times if I'm putting in so many hours drawing and whatnot, a lot of times I kind of end up putting in probably about 4 or 5 hours in the game, and then that's it. It's less. It's on the weekends. Weekends. So at this point, I have to be a little bit careful because the hair is actually. Hold on. Actually, I don't have to be that careful. I'm gonna just drop the hair to the last layer. This way, I can just drop in these colors without having to really worry about it. Without having to worry about upsetting the other colors above it. Other layers above it. So anyway, yeah, but yeah, so weekends, it's normally whenever I just go do other things, stay away from drawing altogether on the weekends. Although I say that that's what I'm going to do because I put so many hours in during the week. I say that I'm going to stay away from drawing on the weekends, and then I end up somehow, some way, without it never fails, always end up somehow doing some type of art. My brother would sometimes come over and be like, "Oh shoot," even thinking of my brother right now, I'm supposed to be doing something for him, a design for him. Oh, crap, totally forgot about it. Yeah, but yeah, he'll come by and say, "Hey, I need design for this. Coming up with this thing. I'm coming up with that. Um, you know, want to know, could you help me out?" Or if it's not that, it's just my sister or somebody else. Or even though I say, "Hey, I'm definitely not doing anything on this day," I end up doing it. Let's see. Let's go with that. But then, so basically, what's gonna happen is I'm gonna end up assigning each thing to where this color is no longer peeking through. Although I'm really liking it, I might just leave it for part of the color to go with the uniform, pretty much, which would be pretty cool. I still would change the color of the scarf, but other than that, I think I like it. Alright, so let's go with another layer. No, I don't want that color. Hold on. Alright, so if I'm going to go for like a light color, that's going to go with... Alright, so this color right here is good enough. And it kind of serves as a white, even though it's clearly not white, but if you look at it, it reads as white. That's one thing that I've learned, that, you never want to go full white. So if you're going for a certain color, a lot of times I go for like a very light blue, and that serves for my white and stuff like that. But you could do it with pretty much any color, really. Just I decided, just because we're using purple for the for her color of her kimono, or gi, her ninja garb, it's going to be purple. Why not kind of accentuate that with other colors? Like that would be white. And now that I think about it, because that white is not white, it's a purple, but it reads white and it's bright. We're going to keep it on the same layer with this. Hold on, let's switch it back a second. Okay, so basically with this style here, the way that I'm doing it, we can actually, if we wanted to, instead of her going through the whole process that I'm going to do, we could do what I used to do and practically just come in here and cell shade right after we get the rest of these colors in, because it's practically, you know, there. We could just go ahead and start cell shading and we'll be done soon. But that's not the style I'm going for right now, from right here. So yeah, not going for a cell shading style. Yeah, we'll just go ahead and put that in like that. So we're gonna do, you know what? Yeah. We're gonna use that same color and go with that for the eye color. In fact, since we're here, let's as well go ahead and fill that in. And fix, fill in some of these other spots where we didn't quite get it. Okay, so now we go back to this color here. I'm not really gonna worry about the pupil. Well, not pupil, but the color for iris. I'm not really gonna worry about that just yet. Because I am gonna come back and really work with the eyes and a little later on in this process. Just wanted to come in and go ahead and get the color that since I was using this color, it's gonna be pretty good. Let's go ahead and save this color, by the way. Cause it's like, yeah, save that color. Actually, can we pull it? Once it's there, you can't pull it. I was gonna pull it beside this other color, but it is. It is what it is. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do next is, let's see, no, this color here. We're gonna take and darken it just a tad bit. Go back up to, yeah, this layer. Let's see how this is gonna look like. Might actually keep that other color. This would be good for shadow for this color, for this. Yeah, I think I'll keep it. And so if we're just gonna use that, we might as well go ahead and just go ahead and fill in these other things. I think that it will work. Of course, once we come back in and start dropping in shadows, yeah. Once we start coming in, dropping in shadows, our light source, so our light source is going to end up coming directly from her, because she's going to be doing that little fire orb in the actual painting. that we had did. It was a purple flame that she was doing in her hand. And so we're going to do the same thing for purple flame. You know. And so that's going to be what's going on there. That purple flame. Okay. Yeah, let's go ahead and get some more color in there. I mean, some more size in there. And this way we right now I think that we have a pretty decent color balance going on. Another, yeah, I don't know how to pronounce this person's name, but another influence for this character's design, where I got a little bit of motivation for this design, was from well, I'm pretty sure everybody who's watched Bleach, there's a certain Zanpakuto, yeah, 2-part. I think it's man, Katen. Hold on a second. I know it. I don't know how to pronounce it correctly, but I don't know. I think I have it on my Deviant Art. Katen Kusuke, something like that. You know what? I'm gonna just go to my DeviantArt. I know it's there. And I was actually obsessed with this character for a while. I used to draw her. I used to draw this character all the time. Okay. That's gonna be interesting. Hold on. I think like I said, I don't delete anything, so I believe it's in my gallery somewhere. I mean, I guess it's not that important, but I do want to take a look at it, see if because it is an influence on the character, especially for how she kind of looks a little bit. Although there is an influence from Taki, there's also that influence from this character as well. Let's see. Yeah, Katen Kaiosku. But anyway, yeah. That's her. And I think she's pretty cool. And the thing that I really liked about that character is the simple fact that, you know, she wore the black mask and she has the purple hair. And I don't know. I just like characters with that has the purple hair, for instance. One of my original characters for a story I'm working on, a comic I've been working on for a while now, is Aisha, and she has purple hair. You know, and the thing I like about Katen, her character, Katen Kaiosku, I can't even say it now. But anyway, her character had the purple hair, and she has like these greenish blue eyes, like Goku whenever he goes Super Saiyan. You know, he had those color eyes, which I thought was pretty cool. And then in her hair, she has like this skull barrette or whatever. And I was like, yo, that looks pretty cool. And she's kind of like, looks like a ninja. She has this huge sword that she, you know, runs around with. I mean, it is just awesome. I mean, I used to just draw pictures of her all the time because I was like, man, this character is so cool. And it makes you wonder, like, I mean, and she kind of looks like a ninja, so, I mean, it makes you kind of wonder, it's like, why didn't you explore that possibilities of that being a character a little bit further? Let's see, what should I use? I think I'll do with use this color. Let's see, can we go with that for, hold on. Okay, I had to check to make sure I had it on the right layer. Alright, so even if we leave it, leave the this color, not this color, but the color that's already here that we're covering up. Even if we left that color for her little ninja garb that she has on, if we left that to be like that complementary color for that, I mean, that would be cool and all. It's just that I need to go ahead and block it in, because once it comes time to start merging things down or whatever, or doing certain things with it's going to become an issue, because it's like, so basically it'll become an issue if, hold on, it'll become an issue if I go like this, like if I decided, okay, we don't need that anymore, I'm like, oh, okay, so now you lose a bunch of things. And it's not bad. I mean, look, you see how it's showing up as green, but, if you remove that, and even though it's showing up as green, it looks pretty cool. So we actually could go with a darker color if we wanted to. I don't know. We could go for a darker color, but not quite as dark as the shirt. The undershirt. We could. I'm going to try it out. See what happens. Where's that layer we're on there? So yeah, I'm gonna just go ahead and keep this color. We could actually change this color later on. So at this point, it is kind of makes sense to stay in the color, stay in the lines, especially if yeah, whatever. I didn't actually draw that in over there, so we're gonna have to go back and do that, or just wait till the actual painting comes along. But I think that's all the places where I want to put this color. So we go back to this right here, and take a look at this color here. Did we save this as in the palette? Yes, it's saved in there. So we're gonna want to try and, so I like the color wheel, try to figure something that's a little, depending upon which way we go. Let's see. And that's a little too close to the color that we already have. So Make sure you drop it a little bit. Okay, so now we see that so now I don't know, let me just fill it in a little bit more and see. I think, you know what, I think we're just gonna leave that color the way it is. We're gonna get this like plum color here. Just a little saturation there. And so this will be the color that we'll use for the scarf. Let me see how this look. Whoa, wait a minute. Whew, boy. Yeah, I'll just go for a new layer for this, just because we could play around with it and not really have to. Yeah, because we could play around with it and not really be, not really fully commit to it. This is actually a really good color here. It's a really good color. I like it. Heck, I wouldn't have minded this for being the base color for the, ninja garb, but, I already selected that other color, and this just looks really good. I don't know if it's a good color balance, but it's definitely a good color. So let's put it underneath. This way we don't have to worry about trying to, Anyway, I actually like this. I like this color. I like how it's coming out. I like how it's kind of blending in really well with this. So it's looking really good. And it's not overpowering any of the other colors. It's actually yeah, I really like that. And then this way we could keep this other color here, this lighter tone, that other lighter color, the lighter purple. We don't actually have to worry about changing the color to anything darker, because this kind of helps with the darker color. Now for the background, although there's nothing there, I had originally had it of thing where she's actually going to be standing. Alright, so the original picture, she's walking through like a corridor, and and it's like wood. It's like a building, and she's walking through this corridor, and she has I guess some moonlight that's coming in. And she's also using this flame, this purple flame, as a light to walk down this dark corridor. And I thought that was pretty cool. And I thought, you know what, we can we could go and do something different now. Like, why don't we just use, my thing was, I was going to put like her actually standing on top of a building, and then probably put like some buildings back here, a big moonlight back there in the back behind her, and maybe another ninja watching her, as she doesn't know that she's being watched, or maybe she does know she's being watched and she just doesn't care. Who knows? But yeah. So one thing we gotta do now really is to go ahead and put in go ahead and fill in these colors here. So let's just go here. Oh, I was just about to switch the color out. Let me go ahead and save this, because I like this color as well, and I think it's gonna come in handy. We'll put it right there. So anyway, which one is it? I think it's this one. Yeah, no, that's not it. It's this color here. I don't think I have that one. I don't think I have that color saved in the palette. And I'll put it right next to this color here. Okay, so we'll keep that color. And the problem with that is you don't know exactly what you've covered and what you haven't covered. So what we're gonna do is, we got a lot of layers already. We got to start combining some. All right, so now what we'll do is start filling it in with that color. So we'll fill it in, and seems like it's above that layer. Put this layer above. No, it has to go below. Okay, just got to be a little bit more cleaner. Yeah, we got the only layer that I would say that, because there's alright. So the reason why I'm keeping, what I want to separate is definitely separate the skin and hair layer from the clothing layer, and maybe the her armor, her shoulder guards on a different layer. But other than that, we can actually leave the rest of them on this same layer. I just like to color them on different layers just in case I'm purposely being sloppy. Oh, we also have to color these kunais down here as well. So let's do that as well. On probably the same layer that we've done the shoulders guards on. So yeah, one of the reasons I like to keep them on different layers, especially the skin, is because say I'm like, okay, this skin tone is good, which it is. I'm keeping that skin tone. But in case I didn't want to keep it, I say, okay, well, how is it not working? And then I could just go into color balance or hue and saturations and try to figure out what skin tone really works well with these colors. which for me, I think that this skin tone works really well for these colors. And the only thing that I would think that might kind of not work all that well, then again, I'm not 100% sold on it. I think that it does work, but you know, just in case, it would be maybe the hair color, you know. Then we can go back and work on that, you know. See, like, okay, well, that's not really working that good. Let's try to find another color. Let's go with that. But I think it does work pretty good. And even for the iris, I think I'm gonna go with this same color or whatever, you know, like this purple or something, but not, you know, a deep dark purple, but just a, you know, purple. Normally what I would do is, if I'm using purple, whatever color I'm using for the hair, a lot of times you'll see people use the same color for the eyes. And I do that from sometimes, not all the time. It's just much easier. So, not going to do that part just yet, but I was going to show what I would normally do. We'll just definitely start with that in a few, especially for this part right here in regards to the other arm guard. Deal with that in a little bit. Oh, we still got to do this, the guard of the sword. You know, we'll go with a goldish color for that. We'll just throw it on this. We'll just throw it in this layer here. So let's go with probably about like right there. A lot of things, for me, especially with dealing with coloring and stuff like that. The way I do it is I never like to use fully saturated colors, because using fully saturated colors, you actually limit yourself on how much you can actually do. And you know, and even in saying that, you're like, well, you're using pretty saturated colors here, you know, but not really, like, you know. So let's say you say, what, skin tone's really saturated, but you know, you go there and then we go here. It's kind of in mid, because you know, could go super saturated for that tone, or keep it here, you know, saturated, not saturated, completely desaturated, start desaturating it. And me personally, I don't think that looks good if it that desaturated. So you got to have a little bit of saturation in it, otherwise it will be kind of horrible looking. But you don't want to have it super saturated either, you know, like, because I couldn't, like, for me, for instance, I couldn't just go, it's like, okay, we'll go with this color. Like, it doesn't look bad, but it's extremely bright. A little too bright for my liking. With this, you know, so with this tone here, I can just say, hey, we're gonna go with, we're gonna try to make it, create some shadows. Let's go there and there. Now it's close to the hair tone or whatever, but since we're already kind of messing around with purple already, we can go in there with like a purple shadow or whatever, and it wouldn't be bad. Or rather, okay, that's something like, you know, so it's like, you know, so even with this like purplish tint of the for a shadow, it would work. You know, it's not like it's something like, you know, so we could actually continue to go with that and it will work. Now, will I actually use that color? Probably not. Probably not. I mean, I like, I have to fill it out a little bit more. Although this is a good color, and who knows, we might not like it. I don't know. I think it's a good color, so it's be a color that's worth keeping for later projects, perhaps. You know, try to get rid of some of these other. Anyway, yeah. And so I like this color. Yeah. So just go ahead and that's very saturated, like a dark saturated color there. And from what colors I normally use for stuff like that. And we're definitely going to use this color again because it's going to go into certain parts, you know. So we're just going to go ahead and save that. And it's not quite put it over here, you know. So I'm not going to actually worry about assigning a color to that flame because I already know what I'm going to do with that. So for the most part, everything is taken care of. So I can actually bring that back. Or not. One of the things is if we drop this opacity just a little bit, gives you that. And I think it still looks good, but I want to do like this. So I'm just going to take this out. So that's one layer we don't need any longer. You can actually merge these two layers. Okay. And we can actually merge this one. And we can merge this one. And so now we have separated by that, of course. So that'll be good enough right there. But now comes the part that is going to make the most about it, because it's prepping your line work for color overs, paint overs rather. And so what I do is we'll come and put lock layer, and then we come back and we'll recolor the lines this way. Getting these little bit of some things on my screen, but whatever. So we say, okay, well, this is a nice color here. Like, what color can help prep for prepping? So I like to go, color's just gonna make it a little lighter, but not too much, not too dark, not too light. So I normally go, let's go to color wheel, and let's see, something in between this area of colors here. Let's see about that. So we get in about that. We can actually increase the size of it. Come on. So a lot transparency. That's much better. So when you lock transparency, you come back and mess around with what color, what's what. So here we go. So that's not gonna work because that's a little too light. So now we go the other way with it. I'm gonna go a little darker and a little more purplish bluish area range. Now that looks better. Okay, so that works better. So the purplish blue, and the beauty of that is that it actually works for even the very light purple. So that way I don't have to come back and choose a different color for that lighter purple. It works. So let's pull it out. That actually looks good. So we don't have to find another color to match with that. Another important thing keep in mind is that we actually do drop down the opacity of the lines as well, but drop it to at least 50%, somewhere around there. Hmm, 50 might be a little much though. I don't know. I think it looks okay. I don't know if it's gonna work on this other lighter, this really white, almost white purple, but it could. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, it works with that too. So I think it works good with all the purple, with all the purples. I don't know how it's gonna work with darker purples, but definitely for the lighter ones, this actually works. Actually, I want to give this line a little bit more saturated, line work, a little bit more saturation. No, like dropping the opacity, but you don't want to make it. Okay, so you want the opacity to be down, but you don't want it to be completely blocked, almost where you can't really see it. Although, I mean, you kind of do, but you don't. And anyway, this here is just how I prep my lines for my line art for being ready for getting ready for paint overs. We painted over, so it's a good color. But as you'll see, this color does not work for the whole thing. Like, you could say, oh, we could use this same color for the entire line art, right? No, you want to use colors that really gonna work well with it. For instance, this here. I don't really care for it on there because it sticks out too much. And as far as the skin tone is concerned, sticks out too much. I would go with a different color for that. Surprisingly enough, it's the same freaking color. Interesting. Let's see. Cause I don't want to spend all day doing this part. That's the good thing is like once you lost a lot of transparency, you can just come in here. Hold on. Just come in here and just bring those colors, color these lines and everything. And so they'll be ready for, especially when you come in, they're not as harsh. They're not going to show, unless you want the lines to show up. If you want the lines to show up, then, hey, just leave it whatever color you want. I typically, alright, so I like to go over my lines, but sometimes I might leave certain lines very visible. Very visible for people to see, And so that's pretty much how this is gonna be. Yeah, that's pretty much how this is gonna be. One thing is, so for the darker lines, for the darker colors, and you're looking for lines to work with them, you typically have to go with something lighter. And although this is it's light, but it's still more or less darker than the rest of the colors that I'm using for blocking them in. If I just do this, it's just gonna cover it, and it's just not gonna look good. Like, where's the lines at? Well, that's what you're going for, right? But you still want to have some type of guideline to where there are folds. Oh, excuse me. To where there are folds and stuff in the picture, in the drawing. So, you try to figure out, well, where can we go with that? So the darkest is probably like that. So let's say, let's find something that's going to go with that. It's not going to, do it. So do we go darker? No, we go lighter. Probably somewhere around there. But that's a little too light. So now we go, alright, well, let's go desaturate it a little bit. How does that look? Alright. No, that doesn't work either. That's a little too... So it has to do with a lot of tinkering around with things. See, that works there. Just a little bit, lighter, and that works perfectly. Okay, so it's not completely, it's not like overbearingly bright. I mean, it's bright enough to where you can see that, see that there's something there, Or, somebody might argue and say, hey, why don't you just leave it black? I mean, that may work, but not really for me. So what happens with that? Nope. So it's only going to work for a small percentage again. But it works good for this color here. So those it works for those colors because it's, I don't know, I guess because it's dark enough. For this purple here, you have to think about it. Let's say, it's already more closely to the blue. I'd say let's go more towards the burgundy-ish color and drop that a little bit. The thing is, it's like a guessing game almost. You're just trying to find the colors that will definitely help pull it out so that it's cool. So we go more towards the blue, and it's almost like a guessing game. It's like you try to find what actually works. Okay, so I think that works. Sorta. I want it actually to be stand out a little bit more. Let's give it some light. Okay, so the more dull it goes, it's like not working out. This is good here. This is good. I'll stick with this because I could just be here literally just wasting time looking for the right color. And I will do that because, I want it to be a color that I don't have to work too hard to cover the lines once I'm done with it. Hold on. Oh boy, here it goes. There it goes. Tinkering with other colors now. Because I can't help myself. Can't help myself. And the bad thing is that color before was actually pretty good. I think it was something like that. Desaturate it a little bit. Yeah, I think it was something like this. Whatever. I need to just leave well enough alone, right? Oh boy. Okay, so anyway, we'll just. I do think that see, now I'm looking like, man, I should have used a different color. And that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna use a different color, probably. All right. So the problem that I have with this is that let me just use this color here. Okay, so that's the main problem that I have, is that leaving well enough is not something that I do, man. I have a problem with constantly going back and trying to fix things that are technically not broken. You know what? It might work. So that's what you want to do. That's really the goal, is to soften the lines. Soften the lines to prepare them for, you know, really prepare them for, there we go. That's what we was looking for. Soften the lines to prepare them for paint over. And I think this works. I just realized that we've missed a portion here, but it's okay. It's okay. We'll, you know, you can easily deal with that whenever you get to that point. And we still got to deal with skin tone now. And then I'm gonna be like, oh no, that color's a little too bright. See, I'm already thinking it. Oh boy, I tell you, eventually, one of these days, I'm just going to ignore myself. Eventually, one of these days, I am going to ignore myself and just do it, man. Just let it happen. This is good right here. I mean, I said that the last few times, I know, but this will work because it is what it is. I'm not going to change it anymore after this. And I'll keep my word on that one. Even though I can barely see it, it's okay. It's okay. We can do it. We can make it. I don't know, man. That's kind of close. You know what? No. We're just gonna leave it that way. Change up the background color a little bit so we can distinguish. the edge. Good, good. Skin tone now. This should be much easier because I like to go to a certain, to go to the more reddish brown. Yep, see, much easier. Much easier. Takes little to, just takes little to no time at all. And probably could use this, yep, for that yellow as well. Takes almost no time at all for that. Skin tones are always easier to find that one color that's going to help. I mean, I could have went with a little darker if I wanted to, and it would have worked. I mean, going a little darker wouldn't have hurt it, but either way, it's preparing it for that. It's preparing it for that paint over. Still got to do the hair. Hair, typically go for something a little more along the lines of a little oranger. Or we could go full on red for it as well, because there we go. Yeah, I can go full on red for that. And we can actually alright, so that's pretty much it. And I'm looking like I forgot something. I think it was somewhere around there. Either way, it doesn't really matter that much, but yeah. So that's how you would do preparing it for the lines to be colored, even if you remove the lines. So, okay, so that's pretty much everything. I don't know. Let's go for a lighter color like that. desaturate it a bit. There we go. That'll work. Yeah. I mean, we could go with that desaturated color for that as well. For the blade. Forgot that, yeah, so that's pretty much it. And the next video, which is probably right after I get done with this, it's gonna be the next steps, which is actually the painting process, which would be which would practically be me going with starting with a layer over top of the line art layer and the other, base layers. And so we'll go from there. Hold on, before we do that though, kind of want to don't want a color that's going to, alright, so we don't want a color that's going to clash with that. I don't know. We'll figure out appropriate colors and stuff like that. And we'll figure out appropriate colors and stuff for this background in a little bit. Yeah. But yeah, that's practically all that I'm going to do for right now. And we'll get to the rest of the stuff, a little later. But that's it. Thanks for watching, and next video, painting. The fun stuff starts. Yeah.